Man, look at that backdrop.
My house.
Have you done this before?
It's my first time. What's this? How do I mute myself? How do I?
What's this? How's this
Here,
going?
I'm just
Right?
gonna go like this.
There you go. that would be perfect, right? How are you doing?
So good. So
Yeah?
good.
You
Yeah.
you're holding up?
Yesterday was tough. Today is great.
It seems like it's funny. It seems like that. It seems like
Yep.
certain days people are just like, oh,
Yesterday was super weird. Like my body ached. I had my stand-up desk. I sat down, like I couldn't get comfortable in my body. It's
right.
weird.
The roughest day I had was the Monday after Easter. I was kind of like, ugh, which was this past Monday, right? I was kind of like, oh man. So you guys are at the stay-at-home ordinance is in for Oklahoma, right?
Yeah, we're stay at home and agents, we're essential.
Yeah.
So we can work, which we're grateful for. We're still promoting our virtual services and operating the best we can that way. I mean, honestly, my team are the ones in the field, and so they're doing the work with the people. And I don't know. I mean, us high I's and high D's of, it's like this conflict. Like I have these goals. Now they're kind of put on the shelf for a minute. How can we still love on people and talk about that?
The struggle is real.
Yeah. How are you guys doing? People still.
Yeah, we're doing well. We're doing all right. We're doing good. So business is good. Not the spring that any of us were expecting, but we're getting some stuff done here and there. So I think we took 4 contracts last week. So that was good, right? You're kind of like, all right, here we go. If you can, I'll take that all day long, right?
You know what's good for me? We make enough to pay our bills and our employees.
Yeah,
that's a win.
Exactly. As long as they can still eat and be fine, and so and pay the bills. So typically, Jenny, just so you know, I think I told you this yesterday. We have like 5 or 6 people right at noon, and then we get started, and then all of a sudden there's 15, then there's 30, and then there's 40. So,
I love it. That's just how we roll.
Yeah, exactly. So if you have the gallery view up, all of a sudden you'll just start seeing some,
popping up.
Yeah.
So we talked about our topic. Is there anything you for sure want me to nail or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna you and I are just gonna be rapping, right? So I'm gonna, but at the end of the day, I want you to really dive into the video of when you saw the industry was kind of changing and how you've implemented that into your business, and then how that's made benefits to you now. Right? I am gonna touch base with you about the bold 100. I know you have, you're doing that, right? Inbound 100. So I will talk to you about that as well. So.
Okay.
Taking some notes. At the beginning here, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions about you and your business, and who you are and stuff like that. So
who am I?
People get an understanding of who it is.
Awesome. I've probably met many of our friends that will be watching. I've been there in your area a couple times. And you know what I'm most sad about? I had a family trip planned in June to Chicago, and I was going to come hang out with you guys too. And I'm going to bet that that's canceled. We had tickets to Dave Matthews concert.
Oh yeah. And they were playing at Northern Ireland this year, right?
Yes. We haven't gotten final word that they've canceled. I'm assuming that, it's going to happen. Dave. I love my Dave.
I was actually, Tim Hawk and I and one of my buddies, we were scheduled
Really, Tim? You don't think I know who Tim is?
Yeah. Well, I know, so, but when I said this, but we were going to Pearl Jam in Denver.
I know. Heartbreaking.
Yeah. We were pumped, we were going to, but yeah. Oh
man. Well, we'll get back there someday. They're going to be the best hugs.
Yeah, that's right. We'll get there. So where were you staying, or where were you scheduled to stay in Chicago?
I think we had a room downtown somewhere fun. I can't remember. My husband's in charge of that part.
Cool. What did your husband do, by the way?
He's an attorney.
Is he?
Yeah, he's been working from home since, I mean, we had our spring break, and um, that 16th, the week of the 16th is when we came back home. Like, we cut our spring break early. We driven to a place called Branson, Missouri, and Big Cedar.
Yeah.
And it started hitting. We're like, this feels weird. We need to get home.
Yeah.
And so we came back home, and we've been in our house
Yeah.
basically since that day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's been working from home. I mean, for attorneys to work from home, that's a big deal.
Big deal. Yeah.
Yeah. The most fun ever is listening to them all get on Zoom and yell at each other and how's this right? You know, it's just cracking me up listening to them. I mean, my daughter, she's been in school on Zoom and Google Hangouts. She sees her whole class, and she's still in school, and it's awesome.
Yeah, my wife's like, all of a sudden I'm a teacher of three kids here, so with
I'm not a teacher.
Yeah, you're like,
we have no teaching. That's what we pay them for, right? That's called leverage.
Yeah. That helps there.
Oh, geez.
All right, we got a couple minutes, and we'll start right at.
Okay, I'm just gonna take some notes here.
So you're going to Dave Matthews. Was your daughter coming? How old is your daughter?
Yes, she's 12 and a half.
Okay, got it.
We last summer we went to Ireland, and we stopped in Chicago. We flew to Chicago and spent the day and a half in Chicago on our way to Ireland, and she loved Chicago, of course. Okay. We did all the touristy things in a short period of time.
Yeah.
And so we were going to take her back with us.
Yeah.
It was right around her birthday, and so she might be 13 in quarantine.
When's her birthday? Is it in June?
June 24th.
June 24th.
Yeah. Yep.
June birthdays. Yeah, so that would have been fun. Yeah, because he usually plays at Alpine Valley right around.
I know that looked like it was a great location.
Yeah. Well, so Northerly Island, where you were going to go, was the old Meigs Field. It was an old area that they used to have small little prop planes fly into.
Oh.
But yeah, then they ripped that up and put that Northerly Island there. So it's cool. You're looking at the city,
Yeah, it looked like from the map, it looked like that was how it worked.
Yeah, it's cool. All the venues in Chicago are hard to get to, unfortunately, so like that's one of the like, oh man, they're tough to get to, but we would have hooked you up. If I would have known, I would have got you on a boat or something and dropped you
off. I love that. I love the boat. The boat arrival is awesome. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I see Josh Weinberg's name on there.
Josh is coming. All right, so people are going to start popping in. It's right at noon. I like to start right on time here. So
let's do it.
What up, J-Dubs?
Yo.
All right. So Jenny, I am hitting record, and we are going to record this, and then we're going to start. Okay, it's recording. All right, guys. So our Lunch and Learn, Jennie Wolek, the president and owner and founder of the Wolek Group. Is that correct, Jenny?
Yes, there you go.
Awesome, right?
Never been introduced that way. It's amazing.
There you are. Yeah, you're feeling good about that. So Jenny, obviously for the couple of us on the phone call right now, which I told you we're going to gain momentum here. That's what this has been going on. Tell us about yourself. How long have you been in the business?
I have been in real estate for 19 years.
19 years? You don't look like you've been around for 19 years. Really?
Yes.
19 years you've been in real estate?
For reals. I got in 2001 when it was really easy to sell houses.
Okay, awesome. And the Wolek Group, how long has the Wolek Group been around?
I started building a team around 2013-14 out of necessity. I had taken this class called Bold. I don't know if anybody of you took it. Well, I know Chris has because he's got a shirt on there. Yeah, Bold Lab. There you go.
That's right.
I took this class called Bold at the end of 2010. And at the time, I was a single agent. My daughter was 3.5 years old. I was such a part-time agent back then. And I took this class called Bold, and my brain just exploded with the thought of I can do this too, and changing my thinking, and obviously change your thinking, change your world, and having the systems, tools, the things to say with scripts. That year as a single agent, I helped 23 families. And then the next year I jumped to 51 all by myself. And really a part-time agent because now I was number one responsible for the kiddo, right? So I was working in those 2.5 hours while she was in mommy's day out, or whatever you politically correctly call it these days.
So that was, but then you said you went from 23 transactions to 51 transactions in 1 year?
Yeah,
By yourself?
by myself.
How was managing 51 transactions a year by yourself? How was that? How did you deal with that and being a mom?
It was tough. I was
Mm-hmm.
working insane hours, or getting up early to get in the emails. Hey, Tommy Choi, staying up late after the kids asleep. I mean, it was tough. And actually, I did not build a team. Like I said, it came out of necessity because I was dying. I was breaking down and having a mess of a meltdown. And actually, a friend of mine that was in a volunteer organization with me, she said, Jennie, I've been thinking about getting into real estate, and I love you so much, and I can see how stressed you are. Can I please help you? What can I do to help you? So that's how a team gets started sometimes.
Yeah, right. Just out of necessity.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so let's fast forward to today. What does your team structure look like?
Well, today, we can say that today we have 6 people on our team. There is me, and I don't do much production anymore, mainly because I, over the years, have hopped in and out of it. And I've just discovered that I love operations. I love systems. Well, thank you, Josh, you're just the best. You're so sweet. I see that chat. That's a distraction. That's a squirrel right there.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, so my team right now consists of 2 lead agents, Nate and Brittany. They are amazing. They do most of the production themselves. Last year, we helped 145 families here in Tulsa. Okay. They did most of that. And we have a new 145.
Oh, nice job.
145, yeah. Thank you.
That's great.
Yeah, and we have a newer agent. She just completed her 90 days, and so she's full on. She's a buyer agent for now, and she'll earn the right to be able to take listings. My lead agents can do both. They do buyers and sellers. And then I've got a transaction coordinator and a listing manager, and then we have a part-time marketing helper.
That's awesome. So, but then you're more now your job is more on the operations side.
Yeah, and I'll share with you guys. I mean, I think that so many agents think that the goal is to 7th level and get the heck out of the business. And I don't think that's the answer for all people. I think that so many people think that that's the ultimate goal, and you can be so profitable and still have tons of fun at that 4th and 5th level, meaning you've leveraged out the things that you're not great at or you don't like to do. You still have some balance in your life or counterbalance, and you're making good money. As you go up and you leverage out somebody, taking over the listing side of your business, you're not as profitable. And so you have to be prepared for that, either with your bank account or just be okay that that's how it's going to be. So I've gone up and down with this over the years because I had the years where I was paying out more to agents and admin in many months, in a very rough month, out of my personal bank account, on personal credit cards. So this business thing, that doesn't happen anymore. You know why? Because my MAPS coach doesn't allow me to not be a business person and to look at profit first.
So you got it. Yeah, profit first. Those are the key words there, right? And a coach. Hey, let's. So the point of this, right? The story of this is you do a lot of video marketing, okay? Yeah. But we will get there, guys, and I want to tell you. But as I'm seeing people kind of chime on here, right? I'm seeing some single agents and I'm seeing some team agents, right? Yeah. So I know you did this out of necessity, but walk us through this journey of like, okay, hey, I was doing 51 transactions. I had to build a team out of necessity. What were your successes? What were your failures to get to where you're at today? And what advice would you give some of the single agents out there?
Well, you read this little book that's really our real estate Bible, and it lines out the path for you. So anyone watching, just know that you start here, and this is the foundation. And whenever you're in the chaos of 51 or whatever your number is, more than you've ever done before, being busier than you have ever been, and needing help, some say, well, it's too late.
Right.
So when is the time to start? The time to start to know, and you can even reference, smart people like Joe and all the coaches and mentors and leaders of, if you're not as productive as you should be or could be, it's because you're missing a who. And that could just start with an in-office transaction coordinator or a virtual assistant to help with the data entry and the stuff that's mindless that you can teach them how to do it. And here's another place where you use video. I started doing this early on, is when I had a new hire coming on and they weren't here yet, or I knew I needed to train on how to put something into MLS. And I just would pull out my phone and video myself doing it. Click here, save here, fill this out. And then now you're building your training content library for the future. And so it's so much easier to pass on to the new admin or new person, here's how you do this, here's how you do that. So that's just a tip I want to share with people, because a lot of times us busy real estate agents think we can't slow down enough to train someone.
Yeah. Because
we can just do it faster ourselves. Well, you're doing it anyway, you might as well document it. Right.
This is proven. I was talking to a team member, Megan, earlier today, and she was like, now that we have some time, right? It's like, yeah, we're busy and we're working, but we have some time now to reflect, and you have some time to realize, hey, I can actually do this. If you put it in order, if you put it in importance, right? Order of importance, you can actually do it, right? Yeah. So you, okay, so you saw the need, but when you say, hey, I started right away, videotaping and showing people how to do it, when did your mindset change that you were like, hey, I'm going from the rainmaker to more of this, still the rainmaker, but more on the operations side? When did that transition happen in your business? Well,
I've always been, and you guys can let me know, I'm the kind of person that I have discovered in my older, wiser age of 19 years in the business, that I needed to be in the role or the seat of the bus that filled up my heart and set my soul on fire, because I discovered early on that I did not love the thrill of the chase of the taking the listings and the slaying it. And I'm just not I'm really not a high D. I lead with my I, believe it or not.
Lead with your eye, but you have a D in you, right? And for those of you don't know, she's talking about the DISC assessment right now. So, okay.
Yeah. So I discovered over all these years. Now, if you're younger and newer in the business, you may need to wear all these different hats for a long time. And then finally, I got to a place where, and so the answer would really be that, of course, you need all things to me. No matter what class we're going to talk about or training we're going to have, all things must start with your big why. Right. And you must know your passion and your purpose and your mission. And if you haven't taken Quantum Leap, you should take it. If you are interested in learning more, you can be a QL for young adults instructor, and then you get to learn from Gary as well. And so,
are you a QL instructor?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a rock star. Awesome. Sorry.
And so the point of that, though, is that because the reason I say that is because I got to the years of being so busy in the business that I got to burn out, and I hated people.
Yeah, that's a powerful statement.
And you all shake. Yeah, like you all, every time I share this with people, they all smile, giggle, or nod yes, because we've all been there. We've had those days. Yeah. And when you get to a place of hating people, that doesn't really get you in the best energy and mindset to lead generate to want to work with more of them. Right. So in 2014, I literally had a breakdown, and I leveraged off all the pieces of my business, and I was not interconnected or did not talk to anybody. Well, in 2015, early that year in March, my buyer agent and listing agent both decided to leave the team for different reasons. And it wasn't anything bad. It's just that was the same week. They both
did it at the same time.
At the same time. And so I got both jobs back in 1 week, and I had not lead generated, and you could tell by our production.
Right.
And I had hated people, so I had to make a quick adjustment.
Right.
And in 2015 was the year that I took bold 4 times in a row,
Okay.
back to back to back to back. And I took them, 3 of those 4 were in Oklahoma City, which from Tulsa, that's an hour and a half drive.
Okay. So
So
that commute, you made that commute. It was at that time, it was once a week, right?
yeah,
Once a week. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Great.
for 7 weeks. And so I did that 4 times, and that got my mindset back, and that got me into, the cool thing about that is where, and this does lead back around to about team building, was that when I finally got over my breakdown, got my mindset right, got into bold, took bold again the next year 3 times, and that year 2 in out of city market centers as well, I was finally showing up as the person that I wanted to attract. And that's when the great people that are in my world now as lead agents had, wanted to be a part of my world. I think that you're going to bring in, like, all you guys, I see so many great leaders here right in front of me, and you guys know that the best people will be attracted to you when you're showing up and doing the right things, and you're
Right.
being a great leader. They'll want to be a part of your world. And I think so many agents are like, where do you find people? Honestly, most of the time you find them right in front of you. They're in your database, or friends of friends who see you be, do, and now be, do, achieve.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Jennie, you said you've been in the business for 19 years, a couple of times. What did you do prior to, if anything?
Well, I told you, I mean, I'm so young that no, I'm not. I actually am 47 years old. I'll let everybody know that I had actually wrapped up my master's degree in human relations and had been working in an HR department for almost a year, and I was miserable.
Yeah.
Sitting
Okay.
at a desk.
What, just sitting at a desk was miserable, or was it the industry or the occupation, or what was
All
of it?
Well, here's the thing. I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up because I didn't understand or know how to discover my own passion and purpose back then. This is why I teach QL for young adults. And so I just ended up where I ended up. Now, I had always been worked in the restaurant industry. I had been a server forever. And so that's where I was my happiest. So even when I had this real job, I still waited tables at the local college, bar restaurant, because I could make money and have fun and see people.
Right. Yeah.
So those skills obviously translate over to real estate. Would you say you show up for a shift, you're going to get paid exactly how you perform? Isn't that what we do every day?
Yeah. It's a good metaphor right there. I like that.
Yeah.
So Jennie, it was great to hear you say about like 2014 that you were like, oh man, I'm done, and I hated people and like whatever, because most of us on this call who know you as, a woman leader with a vibrant smile that like lights up a room and loves people. Right. So tell us about that. Right. So what happened? Was it immediate? Like, hey, I've decided I'm going to do what I want and I'm going to leverage the things I want out. And did all of a sudden, was it a journey, or did all of a sudden it just come back?
It was a journey. That's funny you say that. It's a journey with Jennie.
All right, we'll get there.
Yeah, it was a journey. And so I finally started getting over myself and just following what's already been created before me. So I'm just such a fan of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, the One Thing. I mean, all the tools that we have, I eat it all up, and it's who I am. I mean, I've got my One Thing planner right here. I've got my 411 right over here. I mean, this is how you stay productive and you hit your goals, and you know what you're going to do every week and every day because you already had it planned out. You just you set the plan and you run the play.
Yep.
And that's it.
So Jennie, the format of this has been a lot about, we've talked in the beginning of these conversations a lot about mindset. You touched on mindset before, right? So before we get into like your videos and what the topic was, let's talk about your mindset. So as a business owner, what is your current mindset right now in the current environment?
My current mindset is strong. because it was already trained to be that way. So when you take bold 17 times, like me, you have a very strong mindset. You know, I love teaching the 6 personal perspectives. And if you really look at each of those, if you just live the 6 personal perspectives, you're set. Like, that's it. So for me, and that has everything to do with removing your limiting beliefs, being accountable, working on yourself through mastery every day. And so when you show up that way, you just are that way. So when this all hit, you know, when you've been in the business this long, like lots of us, nothing really surprises you.
Yeah, right.
We were already built and prepared for a shift in the market. We were already talking about there being a shift. We just didn't know it would be this kind of shift. Gary already wrote the book for us on how to act when it happens. We just had to act faster.
Yeah.
So I had that first week, to be honest, that first week of, oh, this is real and this is our new normal. I was in so much adrenaline fueled chaos of, oh crap, what are we going to do? That I was exhausted after that week of, I have to breathe and I have to chill. And then I thought, wait a minute, I just have to follow my schedule and do what I already did. Now it's just going to be a little different.
Right. No, absolutely. Right. Stay to the structure, right? Stay to the schedule, and you're going to continue along your path, your journey with Jennie, right?
Yeah.
How about your team members, Jennie? How are they doing, and how are you keeping them up?
I mean, it's been honestly so exciting. We're more connected than we've ever been. We're still moving forward. We're still selling houses. We're still, luckily here, we're essential. We are honestly, you know, besides the numbers being down just in general, because they just are, because they will be right now, we're more connected than ever. We start our day with a team huddle at 8:15. We used to do that by Google Hangout, because lots of us were driving kids to school and work and things. And so we just did it by phone. And now, well, let's just see each other's faces at 8:15. Right. And so we Zoom at 8:15, and then we get off. We always talk about on our morning huddle is our gratitude for the day. We start with gratitude, and then we share our goals and intentions for the day. And I do too. Tommy, Choi, Brittany, and Nate are awesome. And I couldn't do it without them. So their energy is up, and all team members are all hands on deck right now. And then we hop back on at 9:30. Many of you guys are probably doing this. We hop back on at 9:30 to 10:30, and we lead generate on Zoom. All of us have children. So we are, you know, I picked that time to just still have a time block time of lead generating together, but also allowing for, you know, kids and life and things at home.
Wait, let me get clarity on this, Jennie. When you say you and your team members, this is the first time hearing this, so this is great. You're lead generating with your team members while they're listening to you, or you're lead generating via Zoom?
We're on Zoom.
Okay.
And we're just muted.
And you're muted. So your team members are seeing you and you're seeing them lead generate.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and I mean, and then that's not my original thought. But then also, if you did have something fun to share, you could share.
Josh Anderson's, or who was
it? Don't even. And then you could share it through chat. If you like, today I had this. I called this past client to check in on them, and this is actually my note from this morning. She said, "Oh my gosh, I just loved working with you guys, Brittany and Jennifer. Oh, they were so amazing." I said, "You don't even know how happy I am to hear this. You've just made my day." And she said, "Well, this is what Brittany shared with me as to why I picked her, because I interviewed multiple agents." And I wrote it down. Brittany said, "I do this full time. This is my career." And just her saying that won over a listing, because she shared with her client her passion for helping. Right. And this is my focus, is you. How cool is that?
That's awesome. That is great. Thanks for that. I appreciate that. So has your mindset always, well, you walked us through a little bit about this, but how do you work on your mindset? Because it's, obviously in 2014, it wasn't as strong as it now. Bold, it seems as bold has changed your world a lot.
Mhm.
How do you daily work on your mindset?
Um, well, I think that, that old adage of who you hang out with matters and
Mm-hmm.
how you show up. Now, what happens is as you start growing a team, is that I must show up
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because I am responsible for a lot of families' livelihoods.
Yeah.
And so my energy has to be great and I choose it anyway. Here's the thing is over time I discovered that my purpose and passion is to empower and inspire and engage with real estate agents, because if I can do this, y'all can do this. Like we all have the same amount of potential and time and ability. And that's where I really, really urge agents to discover why. Like for me, my why is we love giving back. So my giving back is either to my community, which we're going to talk about through video, or it's giving back to my agents on my team, or it's giving back to my agent world,
Yeah.
friends across the world. And so whenever I get to sell houses, that helps fund my mission of giving back.
Right.
And so it all goes together.
Man, Jenny, I'm going to have to move to video because otherwise you and I are just going to sit here and keep rapping. You are awesome right now. you are bringing it. So thank you. Great job. All right. So let's talk about your strategy. Okay. So you've been doing video since I've known you, and I've known you for what, 4 years now, something like that. So what brought video into the world? What part of the strategy, did it need? How did you get started with it? Walk us through this journey with the video.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I looked it up yesterday because this was a topic on a video I did yesterday. 2013, I went to my YouTube channel, and you guys don't do it because it's embarrassing. I went all the way back to the beginning, and it was 2013 I started making videos. And honestly, I think it was because I was at a mega camp, and Frank Klesitz with Viral Marketing and Jeff Quinton, who wasn't even with Keller Williams then, came up on a break of intermission of something and sharing with us how easy it was to shoot a video and then send it to your database. I was like, ooh, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
And then it probably took another year or so before I actually invested the real time, because I started seeing, and this is a plug for Frank. I love Frank at Viral. I've used them and I still do. But what I was doing was estate agent with no tech skills, was trying to find ways to download editing software and produce videos. And then how do I send it to my database? So stop that, invest in a little bit of help. And nowadays it's way cheaper, I'm sure, to do this all yourself or find help. And so that's when I started making videos. Well, what I realized instantly was that I was not a person who, and remember back then I was selling a lot of houses, but not a ton, and mostly by myself, a single agent. And I wasn't great at sharing with people, and we didn't have Facebook the way we do today.
Yeah.
I wasn't great at sharing with people my successes.
Okay.
So by implementing video, I was able to be myself and share with them information about the market or real estate, etc. Over time, I discovered that people really don't care about the market statistics.
Mm-hmm.
And what they care more about is the local restaurants, supporting small business owners, giving back to your community through, nonprofits and the goodness that they do. So that's where I've evolved over time with my videos.
That's great for you to hear that, hey, great for you to tell us and for us to hear that, hey, they want to know who you are, and they want to know that you support others, right? And help other businesses and things like that. The market stats, they could probably just get on Google at this point, correct?
For sure. The other thing is that when it comes to, I totally just lost my train of thought. So yes, video.
All right, so Jenny, here's another thing that you just said. You said you saw this and you said video. Oh, I wanted to do it. Oh man, whatever. That's rare. Okay, right? I mean, a lot of people that I talk to are kind of like, I don't want to be on video. I don't want to see myself. I don't want to do that. I can speak personally. It's like I do one shot of it and I go and I don't even look at it, because I don't want to edit it. So
the video was very good. You did a good job.
hey, I tried it once and it worked. So
One
yeah.
thing.
So Jenny, talk to us about that. How was your approach there? Was it just natural that, no, I was going to do this? Cause you're good. You're personable. You should be a news anchor. If if real estate doesn't ever go for you, you can be a news anchor. But how did that go for you?
Well, that's what I was telling you as I went back to look at these videos, and they are terrible, terrible videos. And the thing I realized over time, it's just practice. Like now it looks like I'm a professional at this. It's only because I've done it for so long. And whenever I teach and share with others, I say, I mean, most of you guys, you're like, okay, that doesn't sound like me. Is that really how I look? And the answer is yes. That's really how you sound. That's really how you look. So get over that and be okay with your flaws. Nowadays, we've got the fancy lights and, different filters and things where you can make yourself look a little fancier if you need to. Now,
We got visual backgrounds.
yeah, this is so fun, all of this stuff. But I was going to say what I did forget and I remembered was that it's really hard to measure, to see a direct correlation between I make a video and I get a piece of business.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to happen. You're not going to be able to track your videos equaling business. What I know it does is that when half of our business comes from our database, local database referrals, past clients coming back again, and then we have 30% of our business that comes from agent to agent referrals, which also gets a lot of video content shared with them. I say video works.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
Someone, hold on, let me go to the chat room really quickly. Holly asks, what company do you use?
Well, I use Viral Marketing to help me with the production of my videos. They edit. So all I do is I shoot a video most of the time on my phone, mm-hmm. and I upload it to YouTube, and then I let them know that it's there. They grab it, they edit it, then it gets sent out to my database twice a month, 2 videos a month. I think it's around $500 a month. For me back then, I justified that cost as like a part-time assistant, a marketing assistant.
Yeah.
And then the other cool piece is after the videos are sent out, you get a report of people who clicked on it and watched it. So then you can follow up with those people.
Yeah, call them up. What did you think of the video? Did you think the content was good? Got it. Jenny, let's talk about your video of Journey with Jennie on social media. So where did that come from? Whose idea was that?
The best things come from mistakes or failures, right? We are always learning and getting feedback. Well, I had an assistant and I used Viral Marketing, and can you guys hear my lawn guy outside? This is working.
That's all right. They're rehabbing the house next door to mine. So the other day the saw started going when we were talking to somebody. I hit.
That's awesome. Well, so I was using Viral Marketing, and part of the system with them is you just want to update your database. So my assistant, by mistake, uploaded our whole database, which also included my out-of-town agent contact list.
Okay.
And it got sent to Viral. Then Viral sends out my local database video that's talking about Tulsa or, things around town. And so my email goes out to all my real estate friends, and I started getting replies back. And I mean, you guys, for real, if you were on that drip campaign and you get a video from me about Tulsa, please unsubscribe. You're not supposed to be there. It made me sick. And this was like, 4 years ago or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, what happened was now you guys, my agent friends, are getting my local videos. I'm mortified. I hate it, but I can't pull you off at this point.
Right.
So I go to Mega Camp, and people started coming up to me. Hey, it's Jennie Wolek with the Wolek Group, Keller Williams Realty in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and rattling off my intro. Right. Holy crap, this is weird. And I guess that people are enjoying receiving and getting a message or maybe an idea from me of what they could use in their business. So I get back to town and I call up my rep at Viral and I say, how we do that blog for my local database? Could we do that same video blog just for real estate agents?
Okay.
Said, yeah. Well, I guess when you're the pioneer of an idea person of these kind of things, you get some benefits because they actually didn't charge me for that second blog for like a year.
Okay, nice. Okay, good. So you got some free stuff from it.
Yeah, so that's where that all started. Was I just wanted to give back and share value with my agent friends, because I was getting lots of referrals from out of town agents because I had traveled to so many bowls that I
Right.
started feeling guilty. And my guilt led me to think, what can I do that can add value that maybe isn't a referral, because I can't guarantee I'm going to give one back to them.
Sure.
What can I still help build their business? Oh, okay, I'll just share all the things that we do in our business. Or when I meet this guy, Joe Zimmerman, and he shares a good idea, I'll share that idea in there too. You know,
Right.
so that's just where your journey with Jennie came from.
That's awesome. How else are you using video? Okay, you have viral, you have, you know, your social media journey with video. How else are you using video in your business right now?
So something that had been on my plan and I had started, and with travel, with busyness, it was getting neglected every single week. My goal was that every week I would meet with a new business, a small business owner here in town. I'd meet with a restaurant or a local nonprofit, and I would just, you know, something that makes Tulsa a great place. And I would meet with them and shoot a video, and then that video would get promoted. I have a whole action plan about all the ways we're gonna, you know, help them in their business. And it wasn't getting done. I've done a lot. Don't let me fool you. I have done a lot over time. It just hadn't gone at the speed that I wanted it to go. And with this shutdown, guess what we have plenty of?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Time.
Yeah, yeah.
Other
Yeah.
business people are struggling right now. So over the past, you know, few weeks, I've done, you know, 5+ videos a week with local business owners who are struggling or they've had to pivot in their business, and, you know, restaurants who are still open, but now they've had to adjust and do family style meals instead of their regular menu. So that's what's been fun. So that's what we can talk about here is I had this Facebook page. It's called Tulsa Looks Good on You.
Okay.
And um, it was just sitting there idle because I'm the one in charge of it.
Right. Sure. Sure. Okay. Got it.
IDs, you get it. And so it wasn't getting the love or attention that it needed. And as soon as this all hit, I was like, oh, I already have a public page with the actual mission was typed in there to promote all the awesomeness that Tulsa has to offer. Well, doesn't that include, you know, restaurants and business owners and nonprofits and other things that are happening around town? So I already had the page. So that's what I'm doing is as I shoot these videos on Zoom, just like we are here. I just do side-by-side view and just interview them. And we talk, I set them up for success. I say, hey, we're just going to chat for 3 to 5 minutes. I'm going to record it, and then I'm going to share it on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, and I'll, you know, share it with our database. And they're so grateful.
That's awesome.
Right? Yeah.
That is great. So literally it's just a Zoom conversation that you're, you know, you have some questions that you're asking a lot like this, right? You have some questions you're going to ask the people, and then you blast it out to their database, and I'm sure you're tagging them and into your database, and people are grateful for that. Yeah.
Well, here's where the extra oomph comes from for me is my role on the team nowadays is to be a rainmaker. So my rain nowadays may come from other sources, not just buyers and sellers. So that could be business owners and, you know, building the pipeline. And so as I'm doing this, I was like, well, wait, I'm not doing my part in lead generating. Well, so, you know, now you're a small business owner in town, you're going in our database.
Yeah.
We're going to make sure to have all your contact info. I'm going to follow up with a handwritten note. Thank you for your time. We appreciate you. We're going to add an insight to command for them. We're going to add them to our Homekeeper app so they're seen as one of our vendor partners. We're going to, you know, all the gonna. You just have a whole action plan around these people. And so every week you're building your database, 5-10 new people who have networks, who have friends, and who share their posts.
Yeah. You know, I think especially newer real estate agents, and not all of them, but, you know, and even somebody like myself who's been in the business as long as you have, right? You and I together the same year. So systems, right? You have a system for it, right? And it's like, you sometimes forget that, like, hey, you can't just operate on talent. You have to actually have to have a system for it. So you have a system for this stuff that you're putting through. So again, your kind of operations mindset that
That's how I work.
whatever. Well, but you're saying, but you're putting these systems in place. Yeah. And that's been beneficial. Where, Jenny, where do you've been doing video for a long time now. Where do you think video is video the future, as everyone says? Where do you think this goes?
How brilliant is this opportunity that we have? You know, as a team, over a year ago, we practiced doing a Zoom listing presentation because we noticed that some clients, maybe they couldn't be together at the same time, or gosh, wouldn't it be more efficient as a team, as an agent, if I could do a Zoom over lunchtime where husband's at work and wife is at work and we just all Zoom together? Could that make your work-life balance a little better as an agent, so you're not doing nighttime appointments during the week or on the weekend? Let's just fit them into the workday whenever they're at a good spot too. They're going to be, I mean, what I remember the days, Joe, when I got into real estate and I would go and sit at people's kitchen tables while they're eating dinner with a barking dog, kid. Oh wait, now dad's home from work.
Right.
How focused are they?
Yeah, not at all. Right.
I'm sure no one does that. That was just how immature
right?
I
was. Spaghetti. The kid drops his spaghetti on on himself while we were sitting there, like, oh,
you're holding the baby, whatever it takes. Just find.
Exactly. Let me just hold him. We're probably not allowed to do that for the next couple of months at least. So
right. So let's just you ask how important video is. Well, we're doing it every single day. I don't know about how many Zooms you guys are doing. So let's just carry this on. Let's continue with this virtual world. We still need real hugs eventually. I can't wait for those. And how much more efficient can we be?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's almost like embrace it, right? It's here. This has happened for a reason, no matter what it is. So this is probably some of the silver lining coming out of this is, video is how big it is. So
it's the gift of the shift for me is that I don't know if you guys traveled as much as I did. I was traveling a lot. And so I'm getting in a lot of stuff right now. I'm getting in a lot of good systems and processes and things.
Yeah, the one travel that we're upset about is that you're not going to be able to come to Chicago in June for the Dave Matthews concert, but we'll get you back next summer. Yeah. Jenny, before we end here, it's going to be very powerful for you because I know you teach this, and it's been a life changer for me. Can you give the overview in the next 5 minutes of the 6 personal perspectives and
sure,
what it's done for your life?
Yeah, you guys help keep me on track. Well, the great thing about the 6 personal perspectives, if you fit all of these into your life every day, and you can, then you will be a success. So Gary Keller found that when he met with successful people, they all had the same success secrets, if you will. So they kept showing up, and all of these really make such a huge difference in who you are. And so the first is self-mastery. And we know that we'll never be perfect. However, every single day we can work on getting better on ourselves just a little bit. I mean, here's one example of self-mastery for me. I noticed that I had a good habit of getting on the treadmill in the morning. And then I was watching mindless, stupid stuff to fill my brain before I start my day, like stupid Netflix shows that are gory or no value. And so by just switching that morning show to something motivational or listening to a book, something, then I had inspiration in the morning. It gave me content to post in my Facebook group.
Yeah, right.
Silly stuff isn't going to do that for you. So self-mastery, being accountable, 80-20 principle, all these go together. I mean, I've had a coach since 2011. I would not be a success of any form without.
Same coach?
No, I've had a different few. Yeah.
But you've had coaches since 2011.
Yes, I've had coaches over the years. My current coach kicks my butt. I actually, on our first call, I told him, he said, what do you want? What do you want from me? And I said, I want you to kick my butt. And then a couple of weeks later when he did, and I started crying, he said, "So let me just get this right. You said you wanted me to push you." And I said, "Yeah, shut up."
Right.
And all that. Yeah. So being accountable is crucial. Of course, the 80-20 principle, this is huge. I mean, all my books are right here. So this book right here. So if you think about it, Quantum Leap, the course, and then even the version for young adults, Quantum Leap has all of this inside of it, everything from the one thing, and it has this, it's all about the 6 personal perspectives as well. So when you know your big rocks, you know what matters most. Like for me right now, we're in this chaos of being at home with kids, with family, with school, with work, with Zooms all day long. And it may not look the same as it did a month ago. But if I still know, let me see if I can find my 411. And so if I know every week what matters most, and I'm checking off on it on Sunday evenings, and I know that in a day I need to do these 5 things, that's going to give me a win for the day.
Right.
Because I feel like some of us were kind of floating around in chaos land and not knowing what mattered most.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or getting to the end of the day and being like, I felt really busy, but what did I do?
What did I accomplish? Right. Yeah.
Another one is removing our limiting beliefs. That was life-changing for me. Switching all of your thoughts from a negative to a positive. Of course, we're going to have that negative thought because we're human, and then just switching it of,
right.
I can do this. And which one am I missing?
I don't know. You did a great job though.
I think I got 5. Remove your
80-20.
Eat a pea. Eat a pea.
Eat a pea. You got it. There you go.
Which is my favorite. I mean, everything that we're doing right now, especially, can't you just plus being your normal, natural self by having some purpose behind it? Like I had the idea of shooting videos and promoting business owners, and then I put a system behind it.
Sure.
That's going from E to P.
There you go. That is awesome.
I know Nico wants my system, so I'll share that.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to ask you. The next thing I was going to ask you is, Jennie, I know you're a very giving person, so I know the answer to this. Are you okay with people reaching out to you? And if so, where can they find you?
Absolutely. Honestly, the best way is just to go on Facebook and ask to join Your Journey with Jennie, Jennie. Here, I'll just do it right here. Can you see my name? There you go. There's my name, Your Journey with Jennie.
Awesome.
And then if you ask to join, then you can come in and steal and borrow and plus and then give back all this stuff that we talked about.
I can't thank you enough, Jennie. You are an absolute rock star. Your smile, it just like permeates, and we appreciate you. And it's awesome. Thank you for sharing everything you did with us today.
So much fun, and I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, we'll see you guys soon. Hey guys, tomorrow we're ending the week with our main man, 30 under 30, 2020 30 under 30 inductee, Jordan Pyle. Jordan Pyle is going to talk about how he's built his business, how he is training for an Ironman, how the guy listens to more podcasts than anybody I know, and how he's going to build his empire. So Jennie, you're welcome to join if you're not.
I love Jordan.
Awesome. So guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Stay strong, stay safe. Talk to you soon.
Bye guys.
Thanks, Jennie.